bludgeoning her. She was on the ground, helpless. She was tired. She didn't know what to do. She resigned herself to death, and no one came to help. The police, they tried to intervene. Nobody helped her. No one helped her. Sorry. She died in the middle of a street, and they killed her like a dog. My heart is heavy. I'll be honest with you. This past weekend has been very difficult because of the incident that took place over there in Kalumbila, northwestern province. A little tiny spot, a little tiny district up there that is mainly made up of ignorant people that are so backwards, there is no way of describing them. But this is what is more shocking about Kalumbila. Kalumbila has a population of less than 200,000 people, but it houses 3 major mines, one of which is Sentinel Mines, which falls under First Quantum Mines, First Quantum Minerals. These guys are sitting, get a load of this, they're sitting on one of the largest copper reserves deposits in the entire world, not just in Africa, but in the entire world. So one would think with that level of mineral extraction, isn't there plowing back into the community? Isn't there infrastructure development? Isn't there investing in schools and universities and healthcare? With all of that money that's coming out of Kalumbila in terms of the mining, you're telling me that there is no plan for reinvesting in education, health, infrastructure? Because that is where the problem is. Therein lies the conundrum. You've got a bunch of ignoramuses, a bunch of Neanderthals, a bunch of apes running around in a place that is dominated by superstitious people that believe in goblins and witches and demons and this, that, and the other, and it has created a society that is built on superstition. And this is not the first time this has happened. The only difference with the shock of this young lady that was recently killed, the only shock is that we saw it on video. We saw it play out on video. There are multiplicity of multitudinous tens of hundreds of other cases that have not been videotaped, that have not been documented, that have not been jotted down, that have not been diarized. Incidences that you and I are not privy to. Incidences that we know nothing about. But with the advent of social media and everybody having a phone and a camera, we now have access to this type of barbaric, demonic activity. And dare I say, this incident of a woman that was falsely accused, you know, even just saying it is difficult for me. Let me tell you why. Because it is the most preposterous thing. It is the most ridiculous thing. It is the most asinine thing. It is the most repudiating thing for someone to say, this person has made my genitals disappear. It is the most shocking thing for the same person to turn around and galvanize a mob that believes that. It is the most shocking thing. that a person can galvanize, can mobilize a group of people that would believe that. No verification, not that one is needed, because there's no such thing. Nobody has the ability to do that. Not a single person on this planet has the ability to touch you and cause your genitalia to disappear. Can we begin there for a moment? Because I'm trying to wrap my brain around this nonsensical, idiotic school of thought. Your genitals disappear? That's not possible. So this young man, he galvanizes. He works up a crowd into a frenzy. He convinces them. This person is a wizard, is a witch. He's a soothsayer, she's a soothsayer, she's a witch. What did she do? She made my genitals disappear. You're telling me that there's not a, and I don't want to be funny. I don't want anyone to start laughing. This is not meant to be, there is nothing funny about this issue. You're telling me that there's not a single person in that crowd that was galvanized. Not a single woman, not a single man within that crowd that was galvanized, that was mobbed, that was proselytized into attacking an innocent woman. You're telling me not a single person in that crowd said, your genitals have disappeared? Show us. Show us. Before we go out and kill an innocent woman, do you want to go ahead and pull your pants down and can we see the meeting of your thighs? Can we see between your legs? Well, you say your genitals have disappeared. You care to show us? Not a single person did that. Instead, the crowd believed the young man's false claims, and they attacked an innocent woman. Now, let me stop here for a moment and explain to you the science of the dynamics of the mob. The mob is an uncontrollable group of people that you cannot reason with. I've been there. I've been attacked by a mob. Now, let me explain something to you that you may not understand. If you've never been in that situation where people are hurling stones and rocks at you, and this is the reason I felt there's our people. It doesn't matter where we're from, whether it's in the Kalumbila, whether it's in the Copper Belt, whether it's right here on Simon Moore Lane, Simonson Building area, City Market. Our people are the same everywhere. When it comes to the mob, our people are the same. Our people will kill you and not think anything of it. I look back on my own case. Now, people don't and I often say this, people don't understand the background of why I was attacked by marketeers. Most of social media celebrated. They did. Very few people, I mean, I can count them on two fingers. Very few people commented and said, Mwewa, that attack was wrong. It wasn't right. It was barbaric. Most of social media celebrated. They laughed. They thought it was funny. They did that because they were not in that situation. Now, let me give you the background story. The reason the marketeers attacked me was I had simply said, don't trade on the steps. I had informed the town clerk at Lusaka City Council. I said to TC, please send council police to the market so that they can remove traders from the steps and the drainage system, so that they can move into the market. The people occupying the drainage system had paid money to this black elephant and his fellow UPND cadres. They'd paid these guys money, 5, 10, 15,000 kwacha, to trade on the steps. You know, I don't like cadres. I don't. I think they're the most retrogressive people on the planet. When I sounded that alarm, the marketeers, I was there, I was standing in the market, and I was filming. The marketeers turned around and they said, Mwewa is the one, in which they were right, they were telling the truth. They said Mwewa has informed the town clerk that we should not trade on the steps. Kill him. They took rocks, stones. Brothers and sisters, let me tell you, and I mean this from my heart, it is a miracle that those stones missed me. The only stone that got me was a little small stone, but the ones they were throwing at me, huge stones. I mean, stones had just one big stone hit me in the back of the head. I'd have been gone, dead. Edio, no joke. The only one that managed to hit me on the forehead was a little small stone. All the other stones were missing me as I was running up the ramp. But people found this funny. On social media, they laughed, they hollered, they belly laughed. And yet, that is the same thing that happened to this woman. The mob. And let me tell you, it was only after the fact, it was only afterwards that I learned that the person that I thought was the one assisting me was actually the one that had orchestrated the whole thing against me. This black elephant. Oh dear, sorry. Sorry, got a phone call. All right, sorry, I gotta do this. That happens when I'm not using my DSLR. That happens. So it is the exact same thing. When the mob rises against you, and what I was saying was that what I didn't know was that the person that I thought was coming to my aid was actually the person that galvanized those guys to stone me. Black Elephant, I thought saved my life. He didn't. He was the one that later on I discovered that he was the one that actually told the boys attack him. And then he came to pretend that he was helping me. These people are devious and they're dangerous. And this woman in Kalumbila, not only did they strip her of her dignity, not only did they strip her of her womanhood, they killed her in broad daylight. Killed her in broad daylight by a group of young men and women, teenagers, young adults. Her body laying, if you've seen the video, it will ruin your psyche. If you watch that video, it will make you question the humanity of this nation. If you watch that video, it will bring into question the validity of the declaration of this nation as a Christian nation. I have come to accept that this country is not a Christian nation. It's not. It is only a Christian nation on paper. it's not a Christian nation in practice. It's not. Qatar is a Muslim nation in practice. Saudi Arabia is a Muslim nation in practice. Zambia is a Christian nation on paper, not in practice. Some of the most demon-possessed people are in this nation. People that will kill you at the drop of a hat and look away and not think twice about it. And it's not only in Kalumbila, even here in Lusaka, they're there. There are people in this capital city that will kill you faster than you can say molasses at the drop of a hat. There is nothing Christian about this nation. Nothing at all. It's barbarism. It's a barbaric, primitive, archaic, Neanderthal type of existence. And the moment we ignore that and we sort of throw caution to the wind and just say, oh, well, the more you talk like that, the more it'll happen to you that one of your relatives, your mother, your father, somebody will be killed in the exact same way. I mean, when I watched that woman being paraded through the streets, I couldn't help but think of my own family. I couldn't help but think, what if that was my mother? God forbid. What if that was my wife? God forbid. What if that was my child, my daughter? God forbid. You watch the video and you see young people, just teenagers, killing a woman, beating her, stripping her, bludgeoning her. She was on the ground, helpless. She was tired. She didn't know what to do. She resigned herself to death. And no one came to help her. Nobody. No one. The police, they tried to intervene. Nobody helped her. No one helped her. Sorry. She died in the middle of a street and they killed her like a dog. What's going on in this country? Tell me what's going on. Sorry.